Hello, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of the Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast, where we explore simple yet powerful ways to create more peace, joy, and purpose in everyday life. Because when your mind feels lighter, your whole life gets brighter. I'm so happy to be here, and this is such a powerful topic, and it came up recently. I had the blessing to be able to hold a Soulful Women's mini retreat this past Sunday at my Tranquility Center. And when I tell you it was amazing, it really was amazing. I was on such a high the whole day that it was really neat to see transformations within people and happy tears being shed and limiting beliefs being broken through. And it was just such a true blessing to witness this and be able to, hold the space for these women, both physically at the Tranquility Center, but also from an energetic perspective. But one of the things that came up, we went through this really cool, powerful visualization meditation. And I walk you through really just all the different things that you want to create and what you can create. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I'm going to record it and it will probably be an episode coming up soon. But anyway, one of the things that came up after it, a woman asked me this question. She's like, what do I do when I don't have a vision or I'm scared to move forward? And I thought, oh my God, what an incredible question, because so often we're told we should always know exactly where we're going or what we want to create, and that we need this big, maybe crystal clear vision for our future. And the truth is, sometimes we don't. And that is so okay. Vision is beautiful, but it can also create pressure. When we don't have one, sometimes we might feel stuck or behind or even broken somehow, like everyone else has their life together and they know where they want to go and we don't. But not having a vision doesn't mean you're lost. It just means you're in a season of discovery. That's how I like to think of it. And I know I've recorded previous podcasts on the boot camp for your mind about being in a pause and being okay with that. And I think this is very similar. Sometimes having this big, huge vision really does seem a little bit overwhelming. So I just want to give you permission right now to know that it's okay not to know. It's perfectly okay not to have that big picture in front of you. Life often reveals our path step by step and not all at once. And sometimes the most beautiful visions really unfold after we allow ourselves to simply just be. And I discovered that this summer when I took, I would say probably like 5 to 6 weeks away from my Tranquility Center, because it just wasn't feeling aligned. Some of the things that were happening just didn't resonate, like they didn't feel good in my body. And I knew at that time what I thought my vision wasn't actually what was aligned with what my internal compass was telling me, kind of like what my intuition. So I took that step back for the 6 weeks. And when I tell you that was the best thing I've ever done, not only did I get to spend more time with my family and travel and do all that, but it allowed me to just connect with myself. And one of the things I said to this woman was, you want to just kind of tune in to your own intuition, because intuition is so key and it's real. And when you can stop and pause and tune in to see what makes your body light up, what makes you warm and fuzzy, and what actually feels like pressure, right? You'll slowly start to figure it out. So when I think about using joy kind of as a compass, or like warm and fuzzy feelings, use that as a compass. So instead of asking, what's my 5-year plan or, my 10-year plan, just try asking yourself, what brings me joy today? What lights me up, even in the small ways? It might be your morning walk. It could be connecting with a friend, creating something with your hands, or even sitting in silence with a cup of tea. I know for me personally, I love my mornings, and I used to feel really guilty if I didn't get to the gym for the morning class. But I realized once my kids leave and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, this is my time where it's actually funny. I'm recording this at 7:37, but this is my time when I will do my meditation. Sometimes my meditations can last anywhere from 20 minutes up until an hour. Yes, I said an hour. And I'll do like a couple different ones, and it's just really cool. But then I journal, I drink my coffee, and I just love starting my day like that. And I understand like not everybody can do that in the mornings, but my point is just find something that brings you joy throughout the day. And think about that. And those small joys aren't insignificant. Like they are like the little breadcrumbs. And when you follow them consistently, they begin to form a path, a vision that just grows naturally without forcing it. Right. And it feels good and it's less pressure. And I watched an episode on the Mel Robbins podcast, and I forget the woman, Martha Beck, actually. That's who she was interviewing. And she went through this really cool exercise, and part of it was trying to help figure out your vision. And she had Mel Robbins just close her eyes and just picture herself like, what do you want to be doing? I think Mel Robbins picked like 5 years or 3 years or something. Or like, where do you see yourself? Without any pressure, but it was what kind of like the focus was what brings you joy. And it was being on the beach or being by the water with my kids and potential grandkids someday. And it was things like that. So it wasn't about this huge vision. It was just what brings you joy and how can you create more of it as you continue to move in the future. So I just wanted to put that out there because yes, some people do know like exactly what they want. And sometimes we think we want something, but the universe has a different plan for us. And then sometimes we just don't know. So that's okay. And then the point of moving forward when we're fearful, gosh, do I know this so well, when I was switching my careers from my previous life. Now, my life in corporate, doing financial planning and that stuff, those months leading up to that transition, the fear was like skyrocketing throughout my body for so many different reasons. And it would have been a lot easier for me to stay because it was good money. I loved the people I worked with. And yeah, like it would have just been easier to stay. But I knew in my heart that wasn't the plan. And I had to just embrace the suck and the fear and just move forward. And like, let's talk a little bit deeper about fear, because when we don't have a vision, it's very easy to feel scared about moving forward. Like fear whispers things like, what if I choose it wrong? What if I fail? What if I'm wasting my time? And you know what? Here's the thing. Fear is part of being a human. It's designed to keep us safe, but safe doesn't always mean fulfilled. Our brains are wired to keep us safe. So the fear of the unknown, that's scary. And our brains are like, whoa, hold up. Like, I'd rather just stay comfy, even if that comfy is uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So being that our brains are designed to keep us safe, that's how we sometimes get stuck. So the goal isn't to eliminate fear. It's going to be there, but it's to learn how to walk with it without letting it steer the ship. So there's a great book. I think it's Feeling the Fear and Doing It Anyway. I probably just butchered the name of that, but it's a really good read. So I will put that in the comments when I go look through my bookshelf. But yeah, and here's a reframe that I love. Like, fear often shows up right at the edge of growth. Like, that trembling you feel isn't always a warning to stop. Like sometimes it's a sign you, my friend, are about to expand. And you don't need the whole map to move forward, just small steps that feel right, that feel aligned with you. Maybe it's signing up for a class or reaching out to someone you admire that has maybe done what it is that you're looking to do, or just carving out 10 minutes of quiet time each morning and just tuning in with yourself, because all of these little steps build self-trust, and self-trust slowly will dissolve the fear. And I think about courage, because people throw that word around, and courage isn't about clarity. It's about really saying to yourself, like, you know what? I don't know the whole picture, but I'll take the next step anyway. And when you do, you'll just naturally watch your path unfold. I love it. And this is one of the best parts of coaching. When I coach people, that they do feel stuck because they don't know or they're afraid. And it's just learning to take those little steps that you start to build up your self-trust, and you naturally align with God's plan or the universe or whatever you may call, if you are spiritually inclined. But yeah, it's taking those little steps to what makes you feel good, what brings you joy, and learning to understand what doesn't make you feel good, what is draining on you, because that, my friend, is your intuition telling you that is not the direction. So I thought it would be cool to give you guys maybe some journaling prompts when you do have a few minutes to kind of tune in to yourself. Like, let's make this real for you right now. Like, if you have a pen and paper nearby, or even just notes app on your phone, like, here's a couple journaling prompts to explore. I'm thinking to myself, maybe next time I won't record at 7:37 in the morning when I haven't had my coffee, because I can't seem to get my words all clear. But anyway, so here are some journaling prompts. 1, what are 3 small moments from this week that brought me joy or just a sense of peace? So that's one prompt. And you can just take your time and think about that. Some small things that brought you joy and brought you peace. 2, when in my day do I feel most like myself? For me, it's my mornings. But yeah, when do you feel most like yourself? And then, if fear wasn't in the driver's seat, what's one step I would take right now? What's one thing I'd like to do, but I might be afraid to do it? And then get curious about exploring. Like, what are all the things your brain is saying? And where is that fear coming from? And then, where do I notice excitement or expansion in my body when I think about the possibilities? Like, if you could think possibilities are endless, like, where do you feel that in your body? And you don't have to answer them all. Just pick one, maybe, or 2 that speak to you, and just write freely without judgment. Sometimes the act of writing is what brings clarity. You guys all know, if you've been listening and following me, how much I love journaling. So if you don't have a vision right now, it's okay. Just breathe. You're not behind. You're not broken. Your vision can simply be following joy. Step by step, those moments of joy will start to paint a bigger picture. So thank you for spending this time with me today. Take a few minutes after listening to actually journal your thoughts. That can be your starting point. And until next time, take a deep breath, follow your joy, and trust that your happy mind will lead you to a happy life. Cheers, friends. Bye.